Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back in action on a Monday night. We are live from the Charlotte Roval with the XFINITY series cars, the East to West Apparel Company sponsored series. These guys are laying down some practice times right now. Going pretty smooth for them. Not all of them, but you know, we're NASCAR drivers. We don't turn left. Sorry, we don't turn right. Oh. It's a Monday, folks. You gotta forgive me. Well, let's take a quick look at our points after some shake-up last week.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the roll.
Alright, that is our race control chatting. If you hear him in the background, I'm sorry. But let's find our point standings.
Start zone is very challenging, so be careful in there.
Joshua Reese is maintaining the points lead by only 2 points over Mike Kalin. So we got 442 for Reese, 440 for Mark Kalin. Daniel Krim is at 371, a bit of a gap there. 350 for Daniel Park. Josh Walker 345, Aiden Giordano 337. Kyle Mays, we're looking at 324. He's tied with brother Todd. Farron Elam at 314 in 9th. Michael Steele holding on to top 10 at 307. Steve Hogan in 11th at 303. Travis Lapenas in 12th at 300. Brandon Griffiths at 13th at 294. Sean Patrick in 14th at 291. Ben Park 15th at 290. Dean Qualley 16th with 290. Dylan Dunford 284. Landon Brown 268. And Devin Smith 262. Unfortunate for Devin, I do believe he is going to be done for the season, having some computer issues. In 20th place, we got Mr. Lee Krause. Then we got Matthew Setzer, Jesse Adams, and Matt Moreau all tied for 21st with 224 points. Derek Riggle with 212. Matthew Chandler with 184. Dwayne Kernahan 186. Ryan Rose with 178. And Josh Fox with 163. Ryan Frey 145. And Anthony Hamilton rounding out our top 30 with 141. So we only have localized cautions for the road course tonight. So with that being said, our only caution flag should be on lap 15 for the stage break. Alright, looks like we're going to get ready to go qualifying here. And we will be ready to kick this thing off and get racing. Alright, that's going to do it for practice. We are going to go straight to qualifying. We'll see who the first driver out is going to be. A very long course. Looks like Tom Queering is going to be one of the first brave ones to take the track. And that number 46 Pilsner Chevrolet. Tom has missed some races with us this season. Happy to have him back. And number 46 is looking pretty strong here. I know he's not real confident in his road racing abilities. Tom halfway through the first time lap here. I do believe our drivers are only going to get one time lap in. Tom's going to park that first lap on the top of the chart, but he is the only driver who has set down a lap. There, Mark Kalin is going to jump to the top. Mark Kalin with a 25.442. Mark, our last road course was on fire. Tom is still holding on to that second position. Coming to the line for the end of lap number 2. Well, a little bobble there. So currently we got Mark Kalin, Daniel Krim on the front row. Oh, Joshua Reese just jumped up to P number 3. Daniel Park is one of those drivers who's pretty good at road racing. Really hard right-hander. Daniel Park is going to take over that third spot from Reese. Looks like we have a lot of drivers opting not to qualify tonight. We'll see what happens here. I myself, if I were to run this track, I would not qualify. I would start in the back. I am not good at road races, so I would just try to stay clean and try to outlast everybody else. Pick up positions that way through attrition. Josh Walker going out for a lap. I don't know if he's going to have time enough to complete it. He is just coming to start his lap. Alright, Walker coming through turns 3 and 4 now. Well, what would be turns 3 and 4. That hard left-hander right before the start-finish line. Walker's going to jump up to P number 4. And that's going to be the only lap he gets. Alright, that's going to do it for qualifying. We're getting ready to grid up. Alright, so starting on the pole, we got Mark Kalin and Daniel Park. Row number 2, Daniel Krim and Josh Walker. Row number 3, Joshua Reese and Aiden Giordano. Row number 4, Mr. Tom Query and Ben Park. Row number 10, Michael Steele and Kyle Mays. Row number 6, Josh Fox and Farron Elam Jr. Row number 7, Sean Patrick and Stephen Hogan. Row number 8, Brandon Griffith and Travis Lapanis. Row number 9, Dean Qualley and Logan Tackett. And then last row on the field, rounding us out, we got Matt Moreau and Derek Regal. Good luck to all of our drivers here tonight at the Roval. Hopefully we have a good, clean race. One of our road course drivers that has done well in the past that I am shocked is not here tonight is Mr. Ryan Rose. Only localized cautions tonight. We do have a full field caution at lap 15. I know talking with the race control, he said there's the start, because of where it's at right off of that really sharp left-hander, is going to be difficult for some of our drivers. So we're going to want to keep an eye on that as we get this one underway. Okay, where's my map? Oh, it looks like our track map is not working currently, so we'll just have to go with it here. You guys are getting side by side, getting ready to go green. Pace car is dipping off. Green flag is in the air. Mark Kalin, that number 62 East to West Apparel Company Ford Mustang, jumped out to an early lead, being chased down by Dan Park and that number 7 machine. Looks like we have some issues already. Oh, big pile up. Turn number 2. Mark Kalin with almost a second lead already. Dan Park trying to do everything he can to keep him within his sights. Thanks for tuning in with us on this beautiful Monday night. We're only 2 laps into this event. Josh Walker trying to work on Joshua Reese. Reese comes in tonight with only a 2-point lead. That is a very sharp left-hander there. Ooh, the 2 car gets a little squirrely as they exit the corner. Looks like Matt Moreau and Dean Qualley are in the pits already due to that contact with the 86 car. Not much shaking up right now. Everybody's kind of falling in line and taking their time. It's a long race, 55 laps. Especially with each lap taking a minute 26. Gotta pace yourself. I do believe we have 2 sets of tires here this evening. Let's jump on board with one of our drivers. What say you? We are on board with that number 46 car, Mr. Tom Queering. Tom got on the gas a little hard there. You could hear them tires spinning loose. Downshifting. There's a lot of work going into a road race here. Tom getting a little wild on that approach. Checking out the 2 of Josh Walker, the 17 of Ben Park, and now the 21 of Aiden Giordano. Those guys have been kind of quiet so far tonight. We're only 6 laps into this one. Kalen has led every lap so far. Ben Park in second, Daniel Krim in third, Joshua Reese in fourth, the 2 car of Walker rounding out our top 5. Been pretty quiet so far. It's not going to be too much longer where these drivers get into some lapped cars. got action from one end of the track to the other right now. Ben Park now looking to make a move on Josh Reese as we come close to the start-finish line. He's going to make the pass, going to take over top 5. Walker is going to get back around Ben Park. Mark Kalin has really stretched his lead out front. He has got a 3.5 second lead now over Park. Big shakeup for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Walker drops all the way back to 7th. Daniel Krim all over the back bumper of Dan Park now. And then right on Krim's bumper is that... Oh, he fell back a little bit. Mr. Joshua Reese in the number 1. Tom Queering and Sean Patrick running into a little bit of a problem. See what happens here. Oh, locks up the brakes pretty hard. Overshoots the corner. Doesn't look terribly bad. Dan Park giving it everything he's got. Trying to give it a little bit of a space between him and Krim. We're on lap 13 of 55, closing in on that first stage break, our one and only stage break here this evening. These guys have closed the gap pretty much, cut the lead in half on Mr. Kalen. We will be starting at lap 15 here. Once that is completed by the top 10 cars, we will get our competition yellow or stage break, however you want to look at it. Kalen seeing these guys get close has kind of put the hammer down once again. Added another half a second to his lead. Dan Park has that number one of Reese all over his back bumper. Oh, the 30 of Hogan off the track a little bit. He's going to move up out of the way and let these guys go by. Okay, competition should be coming out here. There it is. Tom Query in that 46 car just crossed the start finish line in 10th. Under caution, Tom comes around a little bit. Taking a little bit of time to get our field stacked back up. This track is pretty huge. Huge. It's gonna be huge. .62 kilometers. Not quite sure how my stuff got switched to British measurements, but you know, it'll work for now. All of our drivers are coming to pit road. I would imagine this is going to be a 4-tire stop. .47 didn't quite hit his spot quite right yet. He had to pull forward extra. Dan Park dipping down pit road again. Might be trying to do a little pit strategy here. See if he can't make it all the way to the end. That's going to move Reese up to second. Ben Park into third. Daniel Krim to fourth. Aiden Giordano to fifth. No, Michael Steele to fifth. Aiden Giordano to sixth. Michael Steele having a really good night in that number 5 machine. These guys have been putting on a great show so far this evening. Alright, green flag back in the air. Reese now all over the back bumper. Kalen continuing to put down some blistering laps, picking right up where he left off before the competition. He looks to be unstoppable here tonight. Dan Park, who did pit a second time under that competition cautioner slash stage break, is in 8th place right now. He's got a long ways to go to try to get back up to where he was. He's going to have about 30 laps to get there. Okay, let's click the right button. There we go. Joshua Reese in that number 1 machine, currently running in 2nd. First place in points coming into tonight with just a narrow margin over that 62 car. Daniel Kerman, the 47, sitting in P number 3. Having a nice solid run on that 47 here tonight. Ben Park sitting in P number 4. Looks like he's losing a little bit of ground to those in front of him, but he's stretching the time up between him and 5th place of the 21 of Aiden Giordano. Aiden has hung around that top 5 all night long. Farron Elam Jr., after our stage break, is currently sitting in 6th place. He is up 6 positions from where he started. I see the big gap between him and Mr. Dan Park. Dan pit again under that caution. He pit a second time. Hopefully that's going to play out for him in the long run. We'll see what happens. Josh Walker now back to 9th. He's had a pretty good run here so far tonight. Been hanging around that top 5 most of the night. Had a bad pit stop. Fell back just a little bit. Travis Lepenas in that number 16 machine. Had some damage for that turn 2 incident. Doesn't look like it's been holding him back too much. He is up 6 positions. Sean Park right behind him. Sean Patrick right behind him in that 26 machine. looking to make a move. A lot of damage to the right front of that 26 machine. Very aggressive pass made by Travis Lapenas to take that spot back. Brandon Griffith in the 45. I do believe he was the instigator of that early crash. Recovered nicely. He is up to P number 12. Kyle Mays in 13th. He has lost 3 spots from where he started this evening. I don't see his brother here tonight, so that's going to help him in the point standings. Tom Queering dropped some spots. He was running up in the top 10 when we went to the stage break. Derek Regal's going to take over 15th. He has up 5 spots. We got Joshua Fox in the pits and Logan Tackett in the pits. Matt Moreau is back on the track, but he is 3 laps down. Right in front of him is that 98 of Dean Qualley, who is 6 laps down. Back up front, Kalen continuing to set down some blistering lap times. Got a 3-second lead now over that one of Reese. Just about to the halfway mark. So far yet this evening, no cars are out of this event. 20 cars have started. We got 20 cars officially still in the race. Although Fox and Tackett have been on the pit road for a bit. If you are looking for a place to race, come check out the EFRL. Monday nights we have our East to West APPAREL XFINITY series. Tuesday nights we got a late model doubleheader. We got the late model stocks on asphalt and then the limited late models on dirt. Wednesday nights we're off. Thursday night we got a dirt cars doubleheader. We have mini stocks followed by the UMP modifieds. So we got a little flavor for something, everybody. So if you are looking for a place to race, come talk to myself, Mick Olofsson, or Dean Qualley. We'd be happy to help you out. Five-second gap now between first and second. Daniel Krim is taking over second. I'm sure Mark Kalin is keeping an eye on those standings, because every position he can get in between him and that number 1 car are going to be some extra points for him this evening. And I do believe, let me double check. Schedule. I do believe tonight is the last race before we start our chase. I don't mean to rhyme, but it just kind of happens. Yes, sir. Next week, beginning of the chase. Looks like we're going to have 3 rounds. We will be at Martinsville next week for race number 1 of the chase. So everything's going to get re-racked and restacked. Dan Parks still kind of stuck back there in 8th. If these front runners don't have to pit again, he could be in some trouble. He gambled that they would all have to pit one more time. Check some lap times that last time by. Mark Kalin, 3 seconds off his best lap, but still running pretty good. He's running a 128 flat. Or Daniel Krim just ran a 128.50, and Joshua Reese a 128.41. So that 62 car is setting the fastest lap continuously. Oh, Krim might have went up a little too high. Reese is looking underneath of him. Krim's got the drive off though. What a beautiful Monday night here in Charlotte, North Carolina. See if I got this fixed. No. Alrighty then. Nope, still nothing. Oh, but we did get our track map back. Now let's check our race info. There we go. 76 degrees Fahrenheit. Track temperature is a balmy 103. 2.25 2.25 miles for the Roval. Mark Kalin in that 62 machine. Looks like he's easing back just a little bit. We've only got 23 laps left to go. Could be trying to save some tires. Or it could be these lap cars that he was coming to. Oh, he got a little loose. Left some marks on the road there. Daniel Krim hitting pit road. First one of our leaders to come in. No tires, just fuel, and he is back on the track. Josh Reese now trying to navigate around some lap cars of Dean Qualley. Ooh, Reese is going to get loose. Keelan right now with almost a 6-second lead over Reese. Hard left-hander for that number 1 machine. $20 laps to go for Mark Kalin, leading this thing from start to finish so far. Perry Elam Jr. Josh Walker now pitting in. Ben Park, Aiden Giordano now pitting. We will keep a close eye on our stats to see when our leaders are going to pit. Mark Kalin is in the pits. Michael Steele in the pits. Kalin is taking tires. He is down and away. Did only take, look like 2 tires. I am really shocked by that, though. Keep an eye on Mr. Reese to see if he's going to pit. And here he comes. He is taking tires as well. That's going to hand the lead back over to Daniel Krim, with Mark Kalin in second. Josh Reese is going to come out in third. Kalin now has passed Krim to take the lead back. 17 laps to go. Ben Park has worked his way back up to 4th. Kalen's going to have to give some time back. He jumped the berm. $15 laps to go. Kalen, Krim, Reese, Park, round out our top 5. Michael Steele having a great run this evening. We haven't shown his car yet. Let's jump on that number 5 car. $14 laps to go. Kalen, Krim, Reese, Park, Aiden Giordano, Michael Steele, Fair Neelam Jr., Josh Walker, who was up front earlier on, has fallen back to 9th. Travis Lepenis, who was in that first incident, has worked his way back up now. Oh, we got Tom Queering has crashed. Brandon Griffith. Let's take a look, see what happened there. Well, Messicar's right in front of our leader. I don't see any crashing though. Michael Steele has caught the 7 car of Dan Park. Looking to make a move on the outside of the corner here. Side by side now, as they're going through what would be turns 3 and 4. Ten laps to go. Michael Steele has gapped away from the 7 car now. Mark Kalin up front. Let's jump back up there. He has a huge lead now over Joshua Reese. 7 seconds. Almost 8. Joshua Reese holding off in second place. Eight laps to go, barring anything happening to that number 62 machine. He's got this one in the bag. Ben Park, one of the early on contenders, have been running around top 5 all night, been dangerously fast. Has stalled out at 4th place, up 4 positions before he started. Aiden Giordano is in 5th place, up 1 spot from where he started. Michael Steele has been steadily gaining on Aiden Giordano. He is up 3 spots, looking to crack into that top 5 this evening. Dan Park, one of the drivers that pitted early, has fallen back a little bit, and he is falling into the clutches now of that number 8 car of Farron Elam Jr. Farron is up 4 spots from where he started. Josh Walker was running up front early on. He is down 5 positions, so he is currently running in 9th. Travis Lepenas up 6 spots, running in 10th. Tom Queering, he's down 4 spots, but he's had a solid run here this evening. He is running in 11th. Kyle May is running in 12th. Brandon Griffiths in 13th. Sean Patrick in 14th. Derek Regal's 15th. Steve Hogan in 16th. Matt Moreau is holding on to 17th. We got Dean Qualley back there. A lot of damage done to that 98 machine. He is in 18th spot. Logan back out on the track. He is now 7 laps down. He is running in 19th and 20th, still on pit road. Mechanical failure for the number 11 car, Josh Fox. Jumping on board with the number 5 car. My ticker said that the 5 car has crashed, but it hasn't really been all too accurate tonight. Oh, we got a spin out right in front of Michael Steele. Works his way around those two after they got together. Aiden Giordano just 3.7 seconds ahead of Michael Steele, currently in 5th place. Kalen's lead has evaporated some. He's lost 3 seconds from when we last checked on him. Joshua Reese in that number 1 is eating up some track time. But with only 5 laps to go, will he have enough time to put some pressure on that 62? Ooh, Logan Tackett's going to drift up high and let the leaders go by. Going through the bust up on the back straightaway here. Another going to enter into that big left-hander. Four laps to go for that number 62 car of Mark Kalen. Brandon Griffiths looked like he was struggling a little bit there in the background. Saw some smoke coming off of that 45 machine. Reese continues to chip away. That lead is down to just 4.5 seconds now. Last time by, Joshua Reese was about 0.5 seconds faster than Mark Kalen, but I don't believe he's going to have enough time. Only 3 laps left in this one. Unless the 62 car gets involved in something with a lapped car. And I only see him catching this one of the 38 machine of Matt Moreau. We have only 9 cars left on the lead lap. The number 2 car is the next one in line to be picked off and go a lap down, but I don't believe Mark Kalen is going to have enough time to catch him. We're going to be 2 to go as he crosses the stripe. Alright, going through the big swooping left-hander that would have been turns 1 and 2 here. Now getting to the bus stop on the back straightaway. Mark is catching that 98 machine of Dean Qualley, who is already a lap down. Dean's just going to move up out of the way and be a gentleman and let him go on by. White flag in the air for the 62 of Mark Kalin. Reese's march to the front has stopped. He has actually lost some ground. Now back up to 5 seconds. Top two have pulled way away from the third place of Krim, who's almost 22 seconds behind our leader. Then we got Ben Park in fourth and Aiden Giordano rounding out our top five. Michael Steele in sixth, Ferris Elam Jr. in seventh, Dan Park in eighth, Josh Walker, who is right in front of our leader right now, in ninth, and then Travis Lepenis, the first car lap down, in 10th. Alright, going through the bus stop. Hit that big swooping left-hander that would be turns 1 and 2 for the last time for our leader. Spinning the tires as he crosses the finish line. Mark Kalin, congratulations, buddy. Alright, folks, we'll let them do a cool down lap, and then we'll be right back for our driver interviews. All right. It looks like we are waiting for our third place driver, Mr. Daniel Krim. Oh, there he is. All righty, folks. Are we ready for some interviews? All right. Finishing third tonight, that number 47 machine, Mr. Daniel Krim.
What is up?
Man, you had a good solid run this evening. I do believe you led some laps during some pit strategy, and that 47 car was pretty quick.
Yeah, had a lot of practice on road courses here lately. Our team won a Petit Le Mans, and then I went and ran the Bathurst 1000 and then a 500 kilometer race this last weekend. So I got a lot of practice at road courses with cars with a lot of power. So kind of rode that momentum into the night. I honestly didn't think I was going to have this kind of momentum after Watkins Glen. Normally, I'm one of those drivers that I feel like I have a little bit of an advantage at road courses. Maybe not as much as some others, but at least enough to be, above average, above what I normally am. And I was kind of disappointed, honestly, after Watkins Glen. I feel like I wasn't able to show that. I feel like a lot of these guys that I wasn't expecting actually came out and had a lot more speed, but kind of made up for it tonight. So yeah, I did get to lead some laps there, and yeah, I got in here somehow.
Well, you had a pretty solid run. I definitely don't believe it was luck. I mean, we were watching you all night, and you were always in the top 5.
Yeah, I knew the tricky part was going to be the tire strategy for the second half of the race. I was kind of looking at my tire numbers even after I think it was lap 5. I hit the wall and going into turn 2 and it gave me wheel damage, and I think it knocked the camber out, probably just enough to have a little bit more camber on the right, I guess. And I wasn't wearing that tire specifically, which is the one I was worried about. So I was like, okay, we're running into the long run and see if I can maybe not go for a splash and go, maybe net out some time. And I kind of regret that, which luckily I didn't really lose anything other than a little bit of pride maybe, but I was able to at least still have the long run speed regardless, so be able to hold it in there.
All right, so on that last pit stop, then you didn't take any tires?
Nope, I did fuel only. I just did a splash and go and left.
Okay. Interesting strategy. I think the leaders took 2 tires, I do believe, when I was watching, but it was hard to tell.
They likely took all 4. I know timing wise, Mark had to have taken all 4. I'm assuming that the one did too. Um, which I was wondering how that would net out. I was also curious to see how the 7 would net out because I think he took a bit of splash right before going to green there. I thought it was a little early to try to do that. I didn't think he'd make it much. I think he did run out right there towards the end. So I'll give him a little bit of a shout out there too. I know he ran good before the stage. But yeah, I took just fuel only and didn't have the speed. I did not expect the track to get as hot as it did. I think it got to 108, at least when I saw on my race laps. So a lot hotter, a lot less grip than what I thought there'd be.
Yeah, everybody did a really good job, though, considering. I know that last really sharp corner before you come to the start-finish line looked like it bit a couple people, but everybody looked like they had a really good time keeping the car under them for the most part.
Yeah, this is definitely a tricky track, especially with how hot it got in the later half of that second stage to keep the car under you. So anyone that could do that without completely demolishing these cars, even with a little bit of damage, took a lot.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations on finishing in third. Looks like we do have All-Star 15 TV giving you a good shout out in the chat, saying great job, Mr. Krim.
Thanks, AJ and the boys there.
All right, buddy. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we cut you loose?
I'd definitely got to give a few more shout outs here. Brian's Motorsports on the Hood in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Hard AF Stelter, Fry Trucking, Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, Wrestling with Nerds, JVM Graphics. Of course, if you're like me and have a beautiful beard, you want to keep it up, go to thebeardstruggle.com and use code CRIM20 for that. American Suppressor Systems, Regeneration Sports Network, JTZ Services. Give a shout out to all the guys there at Hushport Phantom Racing with the new rebrand.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations. We look forward to seeing you back in action next week for the beginning of the chase.
Let's do it.
All right, bringing home that number 1 machine in second place tonight, we got Mr. Joshua Reese.
What's up, Nick?
Dude, it was a handful tonight for you boys.
Yeah, I felt it was a struggle. I didn't feel good, honestly, going into this because I've never really ran the roll before. So, I mean, it feels good to get a second place out of this, but I felt like I just had no speed for Mark at all. He really just had me beating every facet, and even Daniel, he had me be on the short runs, but I think the long runs I was a little better, and then just at the end, the strategy he played didn't work out his way.
Yeah, that last one he said he just did a splash and go where I do believe both you and Mark took 4 tires.
Yeah, I was thinking like my strategy first was to just run it dry and then take fuel only. But then I was like, I'm hearing everybody taking 4 tires, and I look at the fall off, and it's like 3, 4 seconds of fall off. So I'm like, tires are gonna be so important.
That they were. Where were your tires there at the end of that one?
Let me see if I should think I'm still in here. 92.79.
Okay. Yeah, you
But I was also driving the living hell out of it in the final 5 laps, trying to make any gain on Mark that I could.
you gained some, but then it's looked like you kind of stalled out.
Yeah, I think he also got a little traffic, got a couple points too, which helped me gain. I was really good in like the infield part of the track, and then just in the hairpins and the chicanes, I could just not get out of the corners and just was getting beat off the corners by a mile, which just hurts because it's all the way down the straightaways.
Yeah, that if you don't get your speed right when you hit those big swooping corners, it's hard to get it back.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just glad I kept it on track for the most part. I think I had like a 2x. One of them was from, I think I went a little wide in the infield section, and then when I got one somewhere else, I don't remember. I think I hit the wall in the final corner.
Well, that's not too bad, sir. And the beginning of the chase is next week, and all the points are going to be reset.
Yeah, I think we just need to go into these playoffs with a different mentality than what I've done the last couple of weeks. I felt like I've slacked off from what I need to be doing, and it's just hurt my performance very much. So I just need to lock back in.
I know coming into tonight, you only had a couple point lead over that number 62 car.
Yeah, not racing last week. Definitely, you know, played a tone to that, but it is what it is. Congrats to Mark on that. He definitely earned it. Was good battling him a lot throughout this regular season.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting to see what the chase brings. Looks like we got two-week segments, and yep, and then we'll have another cutoff.
Yeah, Martinsville and Dega are just going to be absolute wild cards, especially Dega, because you never know, anybody can win.
It is definitely a wild one, and sometimes at Dega, well, always at Dega, it's better to be lucky than to be good, just to miss the big one.
Yeah, I'm just hoping to recreate the whatever good luck I had last time at Super Speedway at Daytona, able to get a podium. So we're gonna be able to hope recreate that, but get 2 spots better maybe.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on finishing second tonight. Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
My teammates at Josh Fox Motorsports, Josh, uh, Ben, Dan. I think Ben will end up making the playoffs because we were doing the math, and I think he did make it. So, kudos to him for being able to make it in. I think we got well, besides Josh, we got everybody on our team, and that was considered full time. So that's also always good. Also, Aiden at Dark Fox Motorsports, also, you know, good working with him too. You guys for putting on the league, Dean for running it every week, you for broadcasts, and same old, same old. You guys do a great job. But other than that, that's it.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you very much, and we're pretty excited to see what the chase is going to bring starting next week at Martinsville.
Yes, sir. Hopefully we can put on a good show.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
All right, driver of that 62 car, we may have to change his name to Mr. Road Course.
How's it going, Mick?
Doing pretty good, buddy. Other than the pit stops, I think you pretty much led every green flag lap.
Yeah, I think there was 2 or 3 I didn't lead. Real quick though, Mick, it's kind of hard to hear your guest on the YouTube channel. Is there any way to turn the volume up for myself or others?
We sure can. Let's try that.
But yeah, no, I think 2 or 3 laps I didn't lead due to the pit cycle under green flag conditions, and that's expected on a road course with no cautions, unless I guess a track blockage. Maybe they would have thrown a caution, but chances of that are pretty low.
Yeah, other than the stage break at lap 15, I was kind of shocked to see the 7 car dip back in on the second lap to top off on fuel. I kind of thought that might have been a little early to try to make that play.
Yeah, I was shocked as well to see that, and my immediate thoughts was like, is he going to try and stay out to the end of this race? And I'm looking at all my calculations, and I'm like, man, I'm still showing like 5 or so laps to go after my tank dries up. So that's a lot of fuel saving, and I just, to me, didn't feel like it was worth it. That would have been a tall task.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he never did really recover from that. I think he restarted in 7th or 8th and pretty much stayed there the rest of the race.
Yeah, and I heard that he possibly ran out of fuel on the last lap. I'm not sure if that's confirmed or not, but no, it was nice seeing him up there that first before the stage break. It was fun trying to keep him behind me. But yeah, it was nice to see the different strategies. Daniel pit early and took fuel only. And honestly, I was a little bit shocked that I only came out 3.5 seconds behind of him after I had pit. Which with me coming out on fresh tires, I mean, he was a sitting duck at that point. But it's still good to see him come home in third.
Yeah, when you came back out of the pits, you ate him up pretty quick.
Yeah, and I even made a little bit of a mistake coming into the front stretch chicane. Just got on the brakes a little too late, got out of the groove, and I ended up having to let him by due to a slowdown penalty. But
I did see that,
yeah. Yeah, I had to, but I mean, just like that, I was already back around him. I mean, it didn't take but half a lap. So, yeah, it was a difference of 4 seconds per lap between old tires after 18 laps and brand new ones.
Wow, that is a huge fall off.
Yeah.
That track was pretty hot tonight, though, too.
Yeah, at the end of the race, track temp was 101 degrees, so it was definitely greasy out there. A lot of slipping and sliding, especially out of the hairpin and into the chicanes. But it honestly, for me, it made it a lot of fun for the challenge of controlling the car into those challenging sections. And the last like year or two, I've really picked up my road course game. I used to hate them, but now I'm starting to really love them.
Well, congratulations, bud, and I do believe that is going to put you in the points lead at the end of our regular season as we head into the chase next week.
Yeah, I believe you are correct. Me and Joshua were talking about that post race. I believe I'll be the regular season champ as of this race. So just want to give a huge shout out to all my teammates for helping me out and supporting me. Sean Patrick, Michael Steele, Logan Tackett, and then of course Steel Graphics and Design, East and West Apparel Company, and any of the fans out there watching. I hope you all have enjoyed the last several races. Hope they've been entertaining for you. And looking forward to putting on some more entertaining races to come for the chase.
All right, I'm pretty excited to see what Martinsville is going to bring next week. Some short track action at the Twisted Paperclip there.
Yeah, I love Martinsville. It's a super fun track. It's just all about the braking into the corners, and then hopefully it's not a caution fest. Hopefully people are patient and just don't run everybody over on too early into the run. So hopefully we can get a little bit spread out, single file, and get some green flag laps going, because that's always the challenge there, even in official races.
Yep, we did run there a couple weeks ago with the late model stocks on Tuesday nights, and we only had one caution.
Well, hopefully that'll be true for next week, but we'll have to see. I hope you guys tune in and find out for us.
All right, buddy. Is there anybody else you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, let me give out a shout to you up in the booth, Mick. Appreciate you putting on the broadcast each week. And then the owners of the league for putting on the league each week. Really appreciate it, and thankful for them to have this league for people like me to race in.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you very much, and we'll look forward to seeing what you can do next week at the short track.
All right, buddy. You have a good one.
You too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here at the Roval in Charlotte, North Carolina. That rounds out the regular season for the East to West Apparel Company XFINITY Series. Next week, the chase starts, and we will see what that will entail. Always good to start the chase off at a little short track and do some bumping and banging and maybe some bumping and rubbing. All right, we will see you back in next week, and thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Have a wonderful night, everybody.